Hi, thank you for deciding to practice with me today via this YouTube video. My practice, which I've been developing and kind of refining and working on for over 20 years now, changes pretty regularly. I kind of joke sometimes that my change game is strong, that if you think you knew me a year ago, or if you think you knew my practice a year ago, it's changed, and it always will. And that evolution, it keeps coming back to some rooted things for me, and I find those to be really important right now. The idea of process, the idea of coming back to just doing something again and again, without resolve to outcome, right? The Bhagavad Gita teaches that we have control over the work alone, never the fruit. You can find this teaching in many different ways, in many different practices and different approaches. I encourage you, as you do videos like this online, to let go of the expectation of what you think it should be, and instead give yourself the opportunity to just experience, to let it happen, to let the practice be the practice and nothing more. Instead of saying, I've done this so many times, or I've done this pose this way, listen to it. In that same experience, open yourself up to the idea that yoga can be more than just warrior one, warrior two. That yoga can be going for a run, it can be doing a boxing workout, it can be playing drums. The idea that it has to connect in some way, shape, or form through this is an idea. And it's something that you can believe and you can hold in your heart, but be open to the idea that you can work around that. And so the practice I'm going to lead through this morning, though it's a little windy out here down at Lake Wingra, it's really pretty though, I'm going to go for it anyways, even with the wind. And this practice, it starts with some core work, some core stability stuff, kind of build a little bit through that. At that point, then we move into some more traditional Sun A and Sun B salutations. At the end of the Sun Bs, we start to work into some awkward down dog poses. The idea there is to kind of set a rhythm, set some strength and some weight through your core, but then build into your breath, and then start to throw yourself off and just, see where you are. Listen to the practice. The beauty of doing stuff like this online is take it at your own speed, take it at your own pace. If you do 10 minutes of this today, awesome. I was taught a long time ago that the way to come into the practice is to do it 3 times a week for 2 weeks, and then 4 times a week for 2 weeks, and then 5 times a week for 2 weeks. And then inevitably you end up at 6 times a week. You take full moons and new moons off, and so essentially you do it for 6 days a week, and then 5 days a week, and then 6 days a week, and 5 days a week, back and forth, and you start to find the same rhythm to your practice. I encourage you to listen to what makes sense for you, not what makes sense from the teacher or from the perspective of other traditions, but really what makes sense for you, and to take the practice that way. Emily, my wife, keeps saying one day at a time amongst what we're going through, and it's kind of true, one day at a time. I think I was resistant to it at first, but she's right. Like, it's one day at a time, it's one practice at a time, it's one breath at a time, nothing more. No judgment of the last breath, no expectation for the next breath, just let it be. So, thank you for joining me again. Enough talking, let's practice a little bit here. So, again, I'm going to cut Shavasana a little bit short. If you need a longer Shavasana, that's awesome. It's just, I don't think you need to sit here and watch me lie on the ground. And so, when we get to Shavasana, I'll close it pretty quickly. And so if you want to pause it then, take a longer, and then just do your closing with me whenever you get to it, that's fine. Like I said, we start this with core stability, so we're going to start down on our backs. Some of you are pretty familiar with this move, with this sequence, and so if you are and you like it, awesome. Thanks for joining along. Have a great day. Enjoy your practice. All right, so we're going to start in Baddha Konasana. So we're going to come down to our back. We're going to bring the bottoms of our feet together. We're going to let our knees splay out wide. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Drop your shoulder blades down into the mat. If you need a little bit more energy to start, let your heels come up closer to your pelvis. If you need a little bit more grounding to start, let your feet fall a little further away. Had a cup of coffee this morning, so I'm going to start with my heels a little closer to my pelvis. Almost instantly here, start to come into your breath. Without placing any effort around it, just notice how your breath works. So notice your hand on your heart, notice the beating of your heart. Notice the rise and fall of your rib cage. As you notice your breath, see if you can slow your breath down. A longer inhale. A little bit of a deeper exhale. Back and forth. There's no rush. There's no hurry. Use your breath as the barometer to your practice. Listen to your breath. Let it guide you in and out. We'll do some balance work in this practice. And when we get to that balance work, it's okay to fall. It's okay to lose the pose. What we want to come back to, though, is this breath, this moment. Slowing things down, paying attention to the start of the inhale, the end of the exhale, and nothing more. Let's find 3 breaths together to initiate the practice. We'll take 1 nice breath and then 2 lion's breaths. So take a deep inhale through your nose. Fill your body up with air. Feel your lungs expand. As you get to the top of your breath, open up your mouth. Exhale that air all the way back out. Let go of all of that air. Ground to the small of your back. Then inhale through your nose. Fill your body back up with air. Feel your lungs expand. Feel your ribs grow wide. When you get to the top, open your mouth. Stick out your tongue. Exhale that air all the way back out. Third breath. Ground the small of your back. Inhale. Lift through your chest. Through your ribs. Open up your mouth, stick out your tongue, exhale all the way back out. Drop your hands down by your hips. Press your knees together. Ground the small of your back down into the mat. Inhale, reach your hands straight up towards the sky. Ground through your shoulder blades. Bending your knees 90 degrees, let your feet float out in front of you. Ground in the small of your back. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, take your feet straight up towards the sky. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, lift your heels straight up towards the sky. Inhale, bend your knees. 3 more. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. One more time, lift up. Stay here, pause. Ground into the small of your back, press through your heels, bring your toes down towards your shins. If you're like me and you have tight hamstrings, this is a tough pose early, that's fine. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Lift your head up away from the mat. Take your head towards your knees. Grow nice and tight. From there, take your feet straight out in front of you. Take your hands up overhead. Reach long. Exhale, bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. From there, take your knees slightly wider than your chest. Splay your elbows out to the side. Rock to your right elbow. And then to your left. To your right. To your left. Back and forth a couple of times. Come back to center. From there, grounding into the small of your back. Bend your knees 90 degrees. Bring your feet out in front of you. Lift your hands straight towards the sky. From here, adding to the motion, what we're going to do is we're going to drop our right hand behind us. We're going to take our left foot out in front of us. Let them come about 2 inches away from the mat. Then come back up. Left hand, right foot. Inhale up. Exhale long. Inhale up. Left hand, right foot. Inhale. Right hand, left foot. Back and forth a couple of times. As you come back the next time, change it up on yourself. Do right hand, right foot. Come back up. Left hand, left foot. Come back up. Right hand, right foot. Come back up. Left hand, left foot. Come back up. Let your breath guide you in. Let your breath guide you out. As you complete the cycle this time, bring your knees and your chest reach up through your knees by the bottoms of your feet. Press your heels towards the sky, your knees into your armpits. Happy baby pose. Stay active through your heels, your knees down towards the floor. If you want to rock a little bit from side to side, that's fine. Stay active through your hips, through your heels. As the bottoms of your feet come together, let your feet come down to the mat. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Drop your shoulder blades down into the mat. Take a deep inhale all the way in. Fill your body up with air. Feel your lungs expand. Exhale, drop your hands down by your hips. Inhale, press your knees together. Exhale, ground the small of your back. Inhale, reach your hands up towards the sky. Ground your shoulder blades. Bend your knees 90 degrees. This time, reach your feet straight up towards the sky. All right, with long legs and long feet, we're going to drop both our hands and our feet all the way down to the mat. Then we're going to inhale back up. Then right hand, left foot all the way down. Inhale back up. Left hand, right foot all the way down. Inhale back up. Hands and feet all the way down. Inhale back up. Right hand, left foot. Back up. Left hand, right foot. Back up. Both hands, both feet all the way down. Inhale back up. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Come back to center, pause. Bend your elbows and your knees 90 degrees. Inhale, reach your hands and your feet up towards the sky. Now, as you exhale, drop your right hand and your left foot. Let them come all the way down to the ground. Take your left hand to the outer edge of your right leg. Bring your head up off the mat. I know you can't see your left toes, but imagine your left big toe. Imagine your right middle finger. Now find length from your left big toe through your right middle finger. Squeeze into that center line. Breathe there. Press out through that right heel. Stay engaged through the leg. 2 more breaths. Bring your right hand back up to the sky. Bring your left foot back up to the sky. Drop your left hand and your right foot. Let them come all the way down. Take your right hand to the outer edge of your left leg. We're sending up that center line practice. Bring your head up off the mat. Take your gaze down towards your right big toe. Find the length through your left middle finger. Find your breath there. Three more breaths. Bring your left hand and your right foot back up to the sky. Find your breath there. Bend your elbows and your knees 90 degrees. Reach up through your knees. Find the bottoms of your feet. Happy baby pose. Press through your heels, your knees down towards the ground. You can rock a little bit from side to side if that feels good. Let the bottoms of your feet come together. Let your knees come down to the mat. Baddha Konasana. One hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Find your breath. Slow things down. Come back into that opening, back into that beginning. There's no rush. There's no hurry. Listen to your breath. The beating of your heart. The length of your exhale. Take 2 more breaths. Exhale, your hands up by your hips. Inhale, press your knees together. Exhale, ground the small of your back. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, bring your knees and your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Take your head up to your knee. Inhale, reach long. Bring your knees into your chest. Cross your legs at your ankles. This time we're going to rock up to our feet. Then we're going to roll back to our shoulders. To our feet. To our shoulders. A couple of times back and forth. There's no rush. There's no hurry. You notice every bone in your spine. Then with control, rock up and over your knees. Plant your hands. We're going to step back to plank pose. I'm going to turn around. All right. Find your hands underneath your shoulders. Press out through your heels. Grip the mat with your thumb and your pointer finger. So the modifications here are to drop your knees. It's totally fine. We want to work length through our arms. Some effort into our breath. It's a little warm. Find your breath. Then with control, take 5 hand motions. Find your feet at the back of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Bring your hands to your shins or your thighs. Reach long through the crown of your head. Exhale, fold back down to the mat. Walk your hands forward. Find plank pose. With 5 footfalls, find your way forward. Find forward fold. Inhale up halfway. Press your hands into your shins or your thighs. Reach long through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold back down to the mat. Grounding into your feet. Sweep your hands by your side. Rise all the way up. Exhale your hands to heart center. Pause for a second here. Touch your thumbs over your heart. Find your breath. Come back to that point in your breath. Your inhale and your exhale, nothing more. On an exhale, drop your hands down by your side. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Look up towards the sky, touch your palms, look up through your thumbs. Exhale, hinge through the hips, fold down to the mat, bend your knees. Bring your hands to the backs of your ankles. Bend your knees, drop to the crown of your head. Yoinking into your arms, start to lift your hips up towards the sky. If you're like me, early, tight hamstrings, that's fine. Keep yoinking down, keep lifting through the hips. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, plant your hands. Step your right foot back first and then your left. Find plank pose. With control, lower all the way down to the mat. Ground your toenails into the mat. With your hands underneath your shoulders, pressing into your toenails. Inhale, look up, cobra. Move your elbows in line with your body. Your head in line with your neck. Exhale back down. Curl your toes under. Pressing up to your knees first. Press back into your hips. Lifting your hips up towards the sky. Find down dog. So for many of us, first down dog of the day. For some of us, maybe first down dog in a couple days. If walking it out feels good, if motion feels good, go ahead. Find that length through your hamstrings. Bend into your knees. Press long into your armpits, down towards the ground. Find length through your fingertips, through the base of your spine. 2 more breaths. Inhale, bring your heels up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees down towards the mat. Stepping your right foot forward first and then your left. Find the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Hands to your shins or your thighs. Reach long to the crown of the head. Exhale, fold. Grounding into your feet. Sweep your hands by your side. Rise all the way up. There's that wind. Exhale out, heart center. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Hinge through the hips, fold back down to the mat. Again, if you want to grab the backs of your ankles, that's totally awesome. Second option, peace fingers to your big toes. Wrap your peace fingers around your big toes. Let your palms face in towards each other. Drop into the crown of the head. Yoink into your arms. Flare your elbows out to the side. Yoink into your arms. Lift through the hips. 1 more breath. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. Step your left foot back first and then your right. Find plank. With control, drop your knees to the mat. With control, drop all the way down. Ground your toenails into the mat. Inhale, look up, cobra. Exhale, curl your toes under, knees first, back into your hips. Down dog. Again, as we find these down dogs, we find 5 breaths. So if you need a little pause, find that pause. If you need a little movement, find that movement. What serves you best? What makes it practice? Nothing more. Inhale, bring your heels up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees down towards the mat. Stepping your left foot forward first and then your right. Find the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Ground into your feet. Sweep your hands by your side. Rise all the way up. Put your palms overhead. Look up through your thumbs. Exhale, out, heart center. Inhale your hands up overhead. Third time, hinge down to the mat. Forward fold. Again, back to the ankles, toe grasp. Your third option is gorilla, rocking back on your heels. Let your toes find your wrist. The ball of your foot finds your palm. Drop to the crown of your head. See if you can work the weight into the ball of the foot, into the palm. Lift through the hips. Breathe there. Two more breaths. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, plant your hands. This time, stepping 1 foot at a time is fine, or if you wish, simply float your feet back and find plank pose. Again, last time with control, lower all the way down to the mat. Either knees first or just coming down, it doesn't matter. Ground your toenails into the mat. Inhale up, cobra. Exhale all the way back. Down dog. Find your breath. Slow down into the practice. How it serves you this morning. Inhale, bring your heels up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees down towards the mat. Step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Ground into your feet. Sweep your hands by your side. Rise all the way up. Touch your palms overhead. Look up through your thumbs. Exhale out, heart center. All right, we're going to move into sun B's here. So we did 3 sun A's. We'll do 3 sun B's. We start with Utkatasana, chair pose. If you want, you can heel toe your feet together, or you can leave your heels in line with your sit bones. Sitting back into your heels. Reach your hands up towards the sky. Shift your weight back into your heels. Let your shoulders stack over your hips. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, hinge all the way down to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Plant your hands, stepping your right foot back first and then your left. Find plank pose. Now, if you're enjoying Cobra this morning, go ahead, take Cobra again. If Chaturanga's in your practice, you're gonna rock forward on your toes. Bring your shoulder heads over your fingers. Come halfway down. Ground the tops of your feet into the mat. Inhale, look up, up dog. Exhale, press back, down dog. Find your breath. Without stepping your right foot to the sky, you're gonna step your right foot all the way through. Find your heel underneath your ankle, underneath your knee. Drop your left heel, line up, heel to heel. Pressing down into your right shin, finding your knee in line with your second toe. Rise up into warrior one. Touch your palms overhead, look up to the sky. Exhale, sweep your hands all the way down to the mat. Frame your right foot, curl your left toes under. Step your right foot back. Cobra, Chaturanga, whatever makes sense. As you find your way back to down dog, step your left foot forward. Find your heel underneath your ankle, underneath your knee. Find your knee in line with your second toe. Rise up. Warrior one. Touch your palms overhead. Look up towards the sky. Exhale, sweep back down to the mat. Frame your left foot. Step your left foot back. Flow. Down dog. Find your breath. There's no rush. There's no hurry. As we find down dog, we pause for 5 breaths. 2 more. Inhale, bring your heels up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees down towards the mat. Stepping your right foot forward first and then your left. Find the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Let's Utkatasana on 1 breath out. So we inhale up. Exhale, stand tall. Drop your hands to heart center. 1 breath back. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Plant your hands, step your left foot back first and then your right. Plank, Cobra, Chaturanga, whatever makes sense. Listen to your breath. All the way back. As you find down dog, you step that right foot forward. You drop your left heel. Rise up on the inhale. Exhale all the way back down. See if you can let your exhale find the low point of your transition, the low point of the movement. Press all the way back. Left foot forward, drop your right heel, rise up. Exhale all the way back down. Step that left foot back, flow. Down dog. Again, 5 breaths here. Listen to your breath. 2 more. Inhale your heels up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees down towards the mat. Step your left foot forward first and then your right. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana. Exhale, stand tall. Bring your hands to heart center. Sit back, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold to the mat. Inhale up halfway. Plant your hands, step or float back to plank. Cobra, Chaturanga, down dog. All right, so we're gonna start to throw some variations in here. If you're enjoying those sun B salutations, feel free to take another 1 or 2, totally fine. Very traditional to start a practice with 5 sun A's and 5 sun B's. If you're moving along with me, we're gonna move our way into awkward dog from here. Awkward dog is aptly named. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your right hand, dead center in front of you. You're gonna straighten out your right leg, bend your left knee. You're gonna reach your hand for the outer edge of your right leg. You're gonna find your calf, your thigh, maybe your hip. From there, you're gonna bend your left elbow and look underneath your right armpit. From there, if it makes sense, you start to straighten out your left leg. Drop to the crown of the head. Bend into the elbow. Find your breath. On an inhale, bring your left hand back forward. Exhale out. This time we're going to inhale our right foot up to the sky. We'll find length, distance, lift. And then we'll exhale, step it all the way through. Drop your left heel and rise up into warrior one. From here, drop your hands to the small of your back. Interlace your fingers. Press your knuckles down towards the floor. Lift through your collarbone, through your chin. Find your breath. Take a deep inhale all the way in. As you exhale, hinge forward. Let your right shoulder come down inside of your right knee. The crown of your head's going to come down towards the ground. Humble warrior. Breathe there. Stay engaged to the outer edge of your right hip. Stay engaged to the inner edge of your right knee. Drop to the crown of the head. Exhale, let your hands come down to the floor. Frame your right foot, step your right foot back. Flow as you flow. Connect your breath back to down dog. Other side. All right, so center your left hand in front of you. Bend your right knee, straighten out your left leg. Take your right hand to the outer edge of your left leg. From there, drop to the crown of the head. Look out underneath that left armpit. Maybe you start to work on straightening out that right leg. Maybe you drop a little bit further. Grip your thumb and your pointer fingers down into the mat. It's called awkward dog for a reason. As you lose your breath, come back to it. Breathe there. Find that twist, that length through your center body. Then step your right hand back forward. Exhale out. Inhale your left foot up to the sky. Exhale, step it through. Drop your right heel, rise up. Warrior one. Bring your hands up overhead. Exhale your hands to the small of your back. Interlace your fingers. The weird way, the way you don't typically do it. From there, press your knuckles down towards the ground. Bring your gaze up towards the sky. Again, length through the collarbone, through the chin. Find your breath. As you exhale, hinge forward. Let your left shoulder come down inside of your left knee. The crown of your head comes down towards the ground. Find your breath. Tight shoulders this morning. Woo! Man. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, let your hands come down to the mat. Frame your left foot. Curl your right toes under. Step your left foot back. Flow. Down dog. Find your breath. No rush. No hurry. Inhale, bring your heels up towards the sky. Exhale, bend your knees down towards the mat. Step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana, one breath. Inhale up. Exhale, stand tall. Drop your hands to heart center. From here, step to the middle of the mat. If you've done other practices with me before, you're familiar with this way of doing Trikonasana. We'll do our triangle, our reverse triangle, and then we'll do some side angle poses. So bring your hands out wide. On a gentle hop, land your feet directly underneath your wrists. Turn your right toes out. Dropping through your left hip, reach that right hand long. When the right hand won't reach anymore, hinge down towards something. The mat, a block, the floor, your shin, your thigh. Whatever helps you open back up through the left hip, up through the left shoulder. Depending on how you feel, where you are, come into the practice, find that depth. Length and strength through the left hand. Breathe there. Two more breaths. Inhale, rise up. Turn all 10 toes in one direction. Turn your left toes out. So dropping that right hip to start is going to help you get a little further forward. It's going to help you keep that alignment between your knee and your second toe. As you hinge forward, let the left hand come down. Find something. As you straighten out that leg, open up through the right hip, through the right shoulder. Find your breath. No rush. There's no hurry. Inhale, rise up. Turn all 10 toes in one direction. Now we'll find revolved. Take your right toes around. Reach your left hand around. You're going to let that left hip come around. Your right hand finds the inner edge of your right hip. Reach that left hand when it won't reach anymore. Hinge down towards the floor. Duck through your shoulder, through your armpit. Keep pressing back into that right hip. For me, this is a pose. It's awesome. Hang out here, find your breath. Keep pressing back into that right hip. Find that engagement through your hamstring. Inhale, rise up, turn all 10 toes in one direction. Right hand reaches around. Left hand, left hip. Press back into your left hip, reach your right hand long. Keep pressing back into that left hip, drop your right hand down towards something. You get your hand inside of your hip, inside of that bone. You can press back and find that length through your hamstring. Breathe there. One more nice breath. Inhale, rise all the way up. Turn all 10 toes in one direction. Bring your hands out wide. From there, turn your right toes. Bend your right knee, find warrior two. From here, we're gonna find side angle pose. A couple of different options. The first option is to drop your right elbow to your right knee. Reach your left hand up and over. Find length from your fingertip all the way down your side body. Bring your gaze up towards the sky. Your second option is to take that right hand behind your right ankle, squeezing your knee into your ankle. Reach that left hand overhead. Any one of those. Keep opening back up through that left hip. Stay strong through your left fingers. Find your breath. Find length across the side body. 2 more breaths. Inhale, rise up. Hands wide, 10 toes in one direction. Left toes come out. Bend into your left knee, warrior two. Again, left elbow, left knee. Right hand up and over. Variation 1, totally fine. If this serves you, then it does. Take the practice that way. If you want, reach your left hand behind your left ankle. Right hand up and over. Find your breath. Inhale, rise all the way up. 10 toes in one direction. Now we're going to find revolved. Turn your right toes out. I like to turn my left toes under and find high lunge. Make sure your second toe is in line with your right knee. You have length through your left heel. From there, bring your hands to heart center. Hinge forward. Take your right hand, find the outer edge of your right leg. Squeeze your hand and your leg together. Take your left elbow around your right knee. Stay strong through that left heel. Twist. Bring hand to hand. Lift the stack elbow to elbow. Remember that long center line that we worked on our back. Find it here. Your left heel through the crown of your head. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, drop your left heel, warrior two. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, hands wide, 10 toes in one direction. Left toes turn out. Curl your right toes under, find high lunge. So if you have to step your feet wide to get there, then do that. Hands to heart center. Hinge forward, the wind's gonna come back. Left hand, left thigh, right elbow, left knee. Strength through the right heel. Lift, long, find your breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, drop your right heel, drop your hands, warrior two. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead, turn all 10 toes in one direction. Exhale, bring your hands wide. From here, we're gonna find 4 wide-legged forward folds. First one, bring your hands to your hips. Press your elbows together behind you. Find your second toe in line with your heel. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hinge halfway down. Pause there. Lift through the crown of your head. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale from here, hinge down to the floor. Let your hands come down directly underneath your shoulders. Let your fingers face out in front of you, bending your elbows. Walk your hands back so your heels and your palms are in line, your fingers and your toes. From there, bend into your elbows, drop to the crown of the head. Find your breath. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. All right, so we're gonna do that halfway again. So we're gonna bring our hands to our hips. So we're gonna inhale up halfway. And then we're gonna inhale all the way up. All right, second variation. If you like that variation and you wanna do it 3 more times, go for it. Second variation, bring your hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Press your knuckles down to the floor. On one breath, we're going to fold all the way down. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, look up. Then as you exhale, hinge all the way up and over. Let your hands come up and over. Let your head come down towards the mat. Not what it looks like. It's how your breath reacts, how you feel. Listen to the practice. Exhale, let your hands come down to the mat. All right, on an inhale, we're gonna rise all the way up. Okay, again, hands to hips. Press your elbows together behind you. Inhale, look up. One breath, fold all the way down. Keep pressing your elbows towards each other. Draw to the crown of the head. Shift the weight into the balls of your feet. Breathe there. Find your breath. Exhale, drop your hands down to the mat. Now, we're going to do that halfway lift again. So we'll bring our hands to our hips. Inhale up halfway. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your gaze up towards the sky. Exhale, halfway down. Pause. Find your breath. Exhale, peace fingers, big toes. Let your palms face in towards each other. Draw to the crown of the head. Bend into your elbows. Bend into your elbows. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders. Inhale, look up. Inhale, rise all the way up. Bring your hands up overhead. Adjusting my headphones here. Exhale, your hands to heart center. Now, step all 10 toes towards your right foot. Face in that direction. Find our pyramid sequence here. Step your left foot back a third of the way. Bring your hands up overhead. Interlace your fingers the weird way, the way you typically do it. I said the weird way. The regular way, the way you typically do it. Bring your biceps to your ears. Drop your hands over to the right. Drop your hands over to the left. If you were expecting perfection, I have let that go for you. That's fine. Inhale, look up. Exhale, halfway down. Reach your hands out in front of you. Inhale, rise up, engage through your belly. Exhale, bend your right knee. Let your head come down towards the floor. Find pyramid pose. Find that leg through your hamstrings. You notice that my feet are pretty close towards each other. That's all right. Drop to the crown of the head. Step your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, rise up. Turn around. All right, so you're at the back of your mat, facing forward. Hinge down. Plant your palms. Walk your palms forward. We'll inchworm to the top of the mat. Plank pose. Step your feet forward. Inhale, rise up. Step your right foot back. Left foot out in front of you. Make sure both of your hips are in one direction. Bring your hands up overhead. Now interlace your fingers the weird way. Biceps to your ears. Hands to the right. Hands to the left. Bring your gaze back up towards the sky. Engage through your belly. Exhale, halfway down. Inhale, rise up. Bend your left knee. Let your head come down towards the mat. Drop to the crown of the head. Breathe there. Length through the hamstring. Effort back up and into that left hip. Step your right foot up to meet your left. Inhale up halfway. Exhale, fold. Ground into your feet. Sweep your hands by your side. Rise all the way up. Touch your palms overhead. Look up through your thumb. Exhale out, heart center. All right, so now we're going to do some balance work. So find your weight in your left foot. Bring your right knee into your chest. I am on a pier, which makes a nice little challenge here with the wind. You can stay here. This could be the balance work. It's fine if it is. You can bring your hands underneath your hamstring, bringing your right foot straight out in front of you. Or you can take your peace fingers to your right big toe. Take your right foot straight out in front of you. Find your breath. All right, from here, you're taking your left hand out to the side. You're going to open up through your right foot. Three more breaths. Come back to the center. Leaving your right foot up off the mat. Bring both of your hands to your right foot. Take your right foot straight out in front of you. Hinge through the back. Bring your head down towards your shin. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, drop your right foot back down to the mat. Other side. Bring your left knee up into your chest. Again, this can be the pose, right? We hold it for the whole length of the sequence. Or we take our peace fingers to our left big toe. Our left foot comes out in front of us. Well, the wind slowed down at least for me. Take your right hand up to the side. Open up through your left foot. Come back to center. Bring both of your hands to your left foot. Take your left foot straight out in front of you. Hinge through the back. Bring your gaze down towards your left big toe. There we go. Peer threw me off. It's all right. Following my breath, I come back to it, right? It's practice. It's not perfection. Left foot back down to the mat. Step it out a little bit. From here, let's do one more balance sequence. Just kind of bring that inner line back to center. Again, bring your right knee into your chest. This time you're going to bring your hands to heart center. You're going to start to float your right foot back behind you. You're going to hinge through the hips, staying engaged through your right heel. You're going to find warrior three. Slowly hinge forward. Bring your right knee back into your chest. Let your right foot come back down. Other side. Ground into your right foot. Bring your left knee into your chest. Bring your hands to heart center. Hinge through the hips. Let the left foot float back behind you. Drop to the crown of the head. Lang through the right heel. Point your left toes down towards the floor. Find your breath. Slow things down. The start of the inhale, the end of the exhale, nothing more. Then slowly hinge forward. Bring your left knee into your chest. Let your left foot come back down. All right, third balance sequence. We're going to take the tree. If you want, you can take your right ankle, your right foot to your left ankle, or your right foot to your left calf, or your right foot above your left knee. The fourth option is to find half bound lotus. So you take your left hand, you grab your right foot, you drop through the knee, and you bring your foot up towards your hip. Any one of those four. Find your hands at heart center. Bring your hands up overhead. If you're doing half bound lotus, only your right hand's going to come up. Find your breath. Slowly. Let your right foot come back down. Now you're going to mimic it from side to side. So again, your left foot, your right ankle, your right calf above your knee joint. We avoid our knee joint or that half bound lotus. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, heart center. Find your breath. Hands up overhead. Hands to heart center, feet to the mat. All right, one more Utkatasana. You can heel toe your feet together or leave your heels in line with your sit bone. Sitting back into your heels, reach your hands up towards the sky. Utkatasana. 5 breaths this time. Settle back into the pose like you settle into sleep at night. Take the effort away from it. Take the thought away from it. Let the pose be there, nothing more. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, hinge down to the mat. Inhale up halfway. 2 choices. You can move all the way through chaturanga, or you can just bend your knees and take a seat. Either or. If you're going through chaturanga, down dog, then find a seat. From here, we're going to Navasana. So bring your hands behind your knees. Ground into your sit bones, bring your feet out in front of you. We're going to take 15 breaths here. So I'll do 3 variations. The first variation is just to hang out here. That's fine. Leave your hands behind your knees. Get long through your collarbone. Like I said, I'm on a pier. Makes this a little bit more challenging. Kind of fun. Bring your hands out to the side, open through your palms. Find your breath. Second option, lower down to the mat. Leave your legs off the mat, leave your back off the mat, reach your fingers down to your toes. Sometimes called Ardha Navasana, low boat. If you're an inversion person, interlace your hands. Rock to the small of your back, leaving your shoulder blades off the mat, your legs off the mat, reach your hands up and over. Look behind you. 3 more breaths. Inhale, everybody rise back up to Navasana. From there, take a seat. If you're in the middle of your mat, come all the way to the back of the mat. All right, bring your feet as wide as the mat. Reach your hands out in front of you. We're doing a little hip work here. From there, we're gonna drop both of our knees over to the right. Leave your hands out in front of you. Then both of your knees over to the left. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Come back to center. Now, taking your right foot underneath, put your left foot out in front of you. Take your hands out in front of you. Rock and sit up. Then take your right foot back behind you. Ground into your shoulder, sit all the way back down. Switch legs. Right foot in front of your left ankle. Rock. And sit up. Woo. From here, we're gonna find warrior one. Step your left foot back behind you. Find your second toe in line with your knee. 5 breaths here in warrior one. Slow the practice down. A lot of movement, a lot of work. A lot of ways to come in and out, that's fine. Bring your gaze up towards the sky, straighten out your right leg. Turn your practice all the way around. Find warrior one the other direction. Find your breath. Listen to how it feels at this point. Slowly from here, open up into warrior two. I have to adjust my right foot, finding my heel in line. With my knee, my left foot can come a little further out in front. Take your gaze back behind you. Find your right middle finger. That's what you've done. It's already there. There's nothing you can do about it. Bring your gaze up your left middle finger. That's the next pose, the next breath. It's there. Settle down into just this breath. Control what you can control at just this moment. Nothing more. From here, straighten out your left leg. Turn all 10 toes in one direction. Turn your right toes around. Bend into your right knee, warrior two. Slow your breath down. Reverse your warrior. Find opening length, lift. Exhale, sweep your hands to the mat. Frame your right foot, step your right foot back. Again, you can chaturanga one more time if you wish, or you can just press your way back to down dog. From here, I'm gonna set up half pigeon. If you prefer coming down to your back and taking figure four, that's fine. If you're taking half pigeon, bring your right foot up to the sky. Take your right knee to your right elbow, your right foot to your left armpit. Settle your left leg long behind you. Stay engaged to the ball of your right foot. Drop your forearms down towards the mat. This could be it. This could be the pose. Maybe you stack a fist to a fist. You drop your forehead down to your fist. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down to the mat. Whatever makes the most sense for you. Drop the crown of your head. Breathe there. Find your breath. Slow things down. We did a lot of work through our abs, through our hamstrings. We found some length. You build that. By building that, you allow yourself to come a little bit deeper into your hips. Our hips can be a source of stress, of tension in our lives, in our practice, and a lot of different things. There's no rush in and out of your hips. Let them be. 5 more breaths here. Again, if you have lower back or knee issues, feel free to take figure 4 instead. If you feel any pressure through the top of the kneecap, take figure 4 instead. You're going to get the same balance, the same practice out of it. You'll just isolate into your lower back a little bit more. Good. There's no rush. There's no hurry. Slowly find your way out of half pigeon. Set up the other side. So for me, I step my right foot back. I press back to down dog. Some people like to find length in their right leg, maybe even fire hydrants back and forth, whatever makes sense. Other side, left foot to the sky. Left knee, left elbow, left foot, right armpit. Settle down into the right shin. Let your right leg grow long behind you. Let your forearms come down towards the mat. Find your breath there. Maybe you stack fist on fist. Maybe you don't. Maybe your forehead comes all the way down to the mat. Maybe it doesn't. Whatever makes sense. Find your breath. There's no rush in and out of our hips. There's no hurry. Honestly, watching this on video, at this point, you can stop the video. Do hip work. It's awesome. It's fun. Whatever makes the most sense for you, slow the practice down. Find your breath. It's a nice morning down here at Lake Wingra. You can hear the birds. One day at a time. One practice at a time. One breath at a time. Nothing more. No rush. No hurry. Find 5 more breaths here. Slowly start to find your way out of it. If you're down on your back in figure 4 pose, hang out there. We'll catch up with you in half a second. If you're coming out of half pigeon, find your way through down dog. Find that wide, find that distance of your fingertips through the base of your spine. Then with control, step through your feet. Come all the way down to a seated pose. Ground your heels down to the mat. Everybody find yourself here. Heels out in front of you. Toes back towards your shins. Inhale, bring your hands up overhead. Exhale, hinge through the hips, hinge down towards the floor. Now, some people are going to bring their hands to their shins. They're going to drop to the crown of the head. That's going to be the pose. Some people are going to take their peace fingers to their big toes. They're going to hinge. Some people are going to bring their hands all the way around their feet. Whatever. Any one of those 3, drop to the crown of your head. Find length through your hamstrings. One more time here. One more breath. Rise up. We'll find Baddha Konasana from here. So bring the bottoms of your feet together, your knees wide. From there, your elbows are going to come in front of your shins. Bring a finger between every toe. Elbows in front of your shins. Inhale, look up to the sky. Exhale, hinge through the hips, pull down towards the mat. Draw to the crown of the head. Active elbows into shins. Inhale, look up. Exhale out. Press your knees together. With control, come down to your back. I'm going to turn around again. Mostly for the wind. Ground into the small of your back. Lift your hands straight up towards the sky. Ground to the small of your back. Lift your feet straight up towards the sky. Press through your heels. Bring your toes down towards your shins. See how you feel. See where you are in the practice. If there's something else that you need, another pose, another movement, go for it. Legs up the wall would be nice at this point. Another variation on legs up the wall that you might want to take. You can make your hands into fists. Bring your fist underneath the small of your back. From there, using your fists as leverage, bring your feet up towards the sky. There's another inversion that you're practicing. This would be a good chance to practice that inversion. Move through it, whatever makes the most sense for you. As you start to find your way back out of the pose, dead bug, legs up the wall, in inversion, bring your knees into your chest. Find that happy baby pose one more time. Again, a chance to check in, a chance to listen. If there's something else that you need in your practice, feel free to move through it. Let the bottoms of your feet come together. Let your knees come down wide. Let your feet come down to the mat. Bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Back to where we started, Supta Baddha Konasana. No rush, no hurry. Find your breath there. You can stay here. You can transition to a more traditional Shavasana, bringing your feet out in front of you, dropping your hands down by your hips, opening your palms up towards the sky. Drop your shoulder blades. Whatever makes sense. Like I said at the beginning of this practice, if you want to, you can pause it here and take a longer Shavasana. If you want to come into a closing with me, that's fine as well. I'll take my traditional closing, what I like to do at the end of every one of my practices, that little reminder, that little 3-part meditation. So we start in our body. We notice how we feel. We find gratitude for our body, for what we can do, what we can accomplish. The siren going by, and I'm going to let it go by. Be grateful for your body, for what you can do. Grateful for your skin, your muscles, your bones. Grateful for what makes you you, nothing else. Feel a weight, a heaviness into your bones. Find a connection back into the ground. Connection through the back of your heart. Be willing to give. Be willing to take. Find equanimity between the two. From there, bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your stomach. Find your breath. Take the practice of one breath as a reminder of non-judgment, as a reminder of letting go of expectation. One breath at a time, nothing more. From the start of the inhale to the end of the exhale. No judgment of the last breath. No expectation of the next breath. Nothing more. Then closing in our thoughts. Drop your hands down by your side. Inhale your hands up overhead. Exhale your hands to the heart center. Touch your thumbs over your heart. Start in your breath. Just notice your breath. Be happy for your breath. Happy for prana, for life. Rejoice in your breath. From here, we'll find 3 breaths together to close the practice. The first will just be a breath. The second 2 will end with Om. Om is a reminder that when we speak, our words are part of a collective voice, a collective whole. Choose your words carefully. Consider both their intention and their impact before you use them. We'll inhale through our nose, we'll exhale out through our mouth. Then we'll take 2 Oms. Take a nice deep inhale in. Fill your body up with air. Feel your lungs expand. As you open your mouth, exhale all the way back out. Deep inhale all the way in. Fill your body up with air. Third breath, deep inhale all the way in. The wind is coming with you. Exhale all the way out. Take one more Om. Inhale. As always, thank you. Thank you for sharing this with me, for sharing it with each other. Find kindness in your heart, share it out into the world. Find joy, find happiness, find acceptance of all. Thank you so much. As always, if you've got questions or comments, feel free to hit me up below. Feel free to subscribe to this channel. I'll keep posting new stuff as I keep creating it. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this with me.